Welcome again to SBN Video. I'm your host Ayanda Vezi. And njengenjwayelo angudlala umahamba yedwa. With me is Desh Parthab. Desh, how's it, bro?
Hi Ayanda, hi SBN viewers.
Let's get straight into it. Domestic football is on pause. Bafana Bafana is in action.
Yeah.
A double header for 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Their first game is at Moses Mabhida. It's been a long time since we saw Bafana Bafana coming to the city at Moses Mabhida to play. Your thoughts on their opponents first. Let's start by discussing the opponents.
Yeah. Look, I don't really think we're going to have any trouble against this Benin team over here. I do think that the quality that Bafana Bafana have will get us over the line. You know, the likes of Percy Tau, Temazwane, Shlongwane. Like, we're going to get some goals between those three attacking players. But, you know, when you look at the Rwanda defense, I do think they are susceptible. I'm not sure how many clean sheets they've kept, but I do know that teams have been finding the back of nets against them, and I don't think we're going to have any trouble scoring.
Yeah, and the last time this Benin team played, it was the AFCON qualifier against Mozambique. Yeah. And Mozambique beat them 3-2.
Yeah, comes as no surprise. Three goals past that Benin defense over the 90. I mean, look, the writing is on the wall for them.
Yeah, you spoke about the attacking of Bafana Bafana. The people were shocked to see Evidence Mahopa being called to the squad again. Remember, he was part of the setup when he was playing for Baroka. Are you surprised by seeing him replacing Lebu Motiba?
Honestly, I think Mokopa is in a bit of form right now, and I think he has got 2 games to try and force his way into that AFCON team, because, you know, the likes of La Pasa, Saleng, I'm sure that they're going to book their tickets very soon, you know. They're going to be on that plane. But I think Mokopa has been given 180 minutes to try and showcase what he can do for the national team. You know, he scored a very, very important goal against Kaizer Chiefs in the Soweto derby, handing Pirates the 3 points. And I think the fact that he scored in such a big game, you know, 80,000, 90,000 fans, the president of FIFA there, president of CAF was there. So, you know, I think he is the man for the big occasion, and right now he's been given that opportunity once again.
How do you see this Bafana Bafana will line up? Looking, there is another game that they have to play.
Yeah.
Which players would you let's say you should go Bruce now.
Yeah.
Which players do you pick for this game against Benin, saving other players for the next game when they will have to travel?
Okay, you look at the attacking players I mentioned, but there's one player that stands out for me, Apollos from Polokwane City. You know, last season he was playing his trade in the NFD, and now he's got a national team call-up. So incredible story for him. If they can get him on maybe on the 60th minute or so, give him some game time, some minutes under his belt, it could give him that confidence as they play away to Rwanda in the following fixture. I think Apollos, he could find the back of the net on his debut for the national team, and I'll be watching him closely. There's also the wing-backs. I think Modiba, if I'm not mistaken, scored in the African Football League final. You know, a perfect striker's finish, you know, and for a wing-back to do that, you know, he traps the ball, sells the defender, and then he chips the goalkeeper. Absolutely insane. I would never expect a goal of that quality, that caliber to come from a wing-back.
Yeah, and it shows that before they converted him to be a wing-back, he was a winger. So that things comes naturally for him.
He knew exactly what to do, and I think Hugo Bruce would see that, and I think it would get him a starting place in this one.
How does the impact of having Mamelodi Sundowns in these games will have a boost for Bafana Bafana? Remember, they just won a continent trophy. Yeah,
it's definitely the strength of Mamelodi Sundowns that will carry the national team. And, you know, I don't want to mince my words when I say that, but Sundowns are the best team in the country, possibly even in the continent. You know, you just mentioned they've lifted the African Football League, and, you know, I want to see what they do in CAF. If they go back-to-back, that'll be absolutely sensational for them. They are the team to beat in Africa. You know, they've got the name is on the back, you know, the teams have got Rolani's number, and, you know, they won't want to get a victory against him. But right now, I think with a bulk of Sundowns players making the national team, I do think it's a huge win for the national setup, because those players travel to all these countries, you know, in continental football. You know, you're looking at the likes of Egypt, Rwanda, Benin, Swaziland. There's also Israel. You know, they will travel to the north, west, east, and south of Africa, and I think that will carry the national team as we look to prepare for the World Cup as well as AFCON.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on AFCON there. because we're talking about the World Cup qualifiers. These are the last international games before we go into AFCON. So are these players that are called in the national team, we will see them in the AFCON, because I don't think there will be any matches after this.
At the time of recording, there hasn't been any talk of additional matches. So these are the final preparations, you know, and I think that with the team that is selected, there are a few players that I do think that they will be parts of the AFCON team. But like I said, there's majority of them are not very familiar with the setup. You know, you look at the likes of a fringe player. You know, maybe he's been given this opportunity to try and force his way into the team. You know, force Hugo Bruce to say, look at me, this is what I can do, this is what I can bring to your technical team. And you know, then it's up to the staff, you know, the hierarchy, to make that final decision.
Okay, and then looking at the group, we have Nigeria, we have Zimbabwe, we have Rwanda, we have Benin in that group. Do you think we're gonna make it? Are we going to the World Cup 2026?
We should definitely, with this current setup, like I said, the current squad that Bruce has selected for these two matches, it doesn't reflect the quality that we have. There are major omissions, and I think the likes of, you know, Lyle Foster, La Pasa, you know, Saleng, they're not in the team for various reasons. We don't want to get too deep into those, but you know, if we have our full strength team, we definitely stand a good chance, and I will be confident in us booking our spot in the World Cup.
The question one of the fans maybe might ask, if Hugo Bruce fails in the AFCON, will you keep him or will you just let him go?
Well, look, I think he's got a pedigree of results to fall back on. You know, look at his track record. I think the national team hasn't seen defeat in like a year or something like that, if you exclude those COSAFA games, of course. But in terms of the national team, I think he's done a really good job. And I think now with the I believe the Moses Mabhida game and the other game, you know, they've looked to play outside of Joburg. You know, and I think that's to rally support. And I think if you look at the track record, like, we haven't been defeated. So I think he's done well up until this point. Of course, he will be judged in AFCON, because you don't want to go there and get a 4-0 hammering by the likes of Tunisia or something. Then your job will definitely be on the line. As a manager, you know, you're only 3 results from being sacked, you know, so there's always that to look out for. Personally, I think he should still be the head coach. I don't want them to change the setup again. I think keep faith in Hugo Bruce. He's done a really good job. And, you know, we are qualified for AFCON, so it's only time will tell how well we do.
And we almost qualified for the previous World Cup, if they didn't work us.
Let's let bygones be bygones.
Okay, give me your prediction between the two games. The first one against